This month, Tumble Track is having 15% off their summer blowout sale and 5% off carpet bonded foam. Some of their air products are in the blowout sale. Visit Tumble Track at TUMBLTRAK, tumbletrack.com. Train smart. Norbert's is having a sale, their August special, 10% off their new curvy step. Is it a step that curves? Is it stairs? Is it a slide? Is it something you can use to practice downhill skills? It's all of the above. Norbert's will be at the trade shows for Region 1 and GAT. Check out their pre-order list for deals at your regional congress. Go to norberts.com for a 10% discount on anything with the code GymCastic. Norbert's is also giving away a $50 Norbert's gift card that can be used on anything in their online store, no minimum. Just follow Norbert's Athletic on Instagram or comment on their giveaway post. This show is PG-13, so you might hear a naughty word or two. Welcome to our coverage of the Paris Olympic Games. I told you 100 years ago that Carlos Yulo was going to be an Olympic champion, and today he is. He is the Olympic champion of floor, the first gold medal ever for a man from the Philippines. Simone Biles is the new vault Olympic champion. Rhys, the prodigy McClenaghan of Ireland, is the Pommel Horse Olympic champion, and he is also the first gymnastics medal for Ireland and the first gold medal for Ireland in gymnastics. This is such a huge deal. Oh, okay, it's August 3rd. We are coming to you live from Paris. Welcome to the #1 Gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. I'm Jessica, and I'm here with Spencer from the Balance Beam Situation. And Club Gym Nerd members, you will want to join your
lower
members
your volume due to Jessica's excitement. That's what Club Gym Nerd members need to do. Lower their volume slightly.
Lower your volume. I just did lower my volume. Is it low enough?
Yes,
you're still too high.
I'm just making fun of you.
Okay, good now? Okay. See, I'm raising you, but lowering me. Okay, so let me know if it's still too loud. Okay, you guys, I'm very excited. I'm extremely excited. Okay, so you guys, if you're a Club Gym Nerd member, switch to your members only feed so you can get all of the extra bonus discussion. Yeah, I was a little excited. I might have been a little bit loud, you guys, because I've been trying to hold it in because we're in an apartment, but I can't tonight because Ireland and the Philippines. Oh my God. All right, let's start with vault.
Yes.
Grown-ass women on the podium.
The one women's final today, because we're doing Olympics event finals over 3 days instead of 2, which is a very difficult adjustment for me. But Simone Biles, Olympic vault champion, went up in the first half of the group, did her Yurchenko double pike. It was a great one. More control than the last time we saw it. It was just the one kind of big bounce back. And then the vault final was over. She was like, that's it. That decided it. Then she did her Chung, also a really solid one. I think both vaults were the best additions that we've seen them so far at these Olympics. So her score was the same as qualification, but I think they were being a little tighter because I think these were the best.
Yeah. Ones. I feel like the difference with this double pike and the difference she's made here at these Olympic Games with her double pike is that she's blocking so much more straight up. Like her block has always been not a problem, which is why she can do a Yurchenko double pike vault totally safely. But it's just like straight up. She just flies super high. So she's not going as far back, but she's landing that still so nice right up and down. And I love it. And also, why isn't everyone using the sticky paws? That's what I'm calling it. But the sticky stuff, like lots of people put sticky stuff on their hands to vault. And she has these little paper wipes that she uses. A lot of you can use sticky stuff on the vault table, as you should, because what we saw from Shallon Olsen was terrifying when her hand slipped. And so everyone should use the sticky paws. Don't look up sticky paws because that's not actually what it's called, but I would just like for everyone to have that and to be maybe offered like an aperitif before vault. Please
sure.
a sticky paw as you mount the podium.
So Simone Biles gold, Rebecca Andrade silver, performed her Chung, gorgeous, perfect, except a little like she college saluted it slightly, but like, what are you gonna do? We did not see the Yurchenko triple full. which, as disappointing as it is because we wanted to see it, I think was, the solid decision. I don't think there was anything to be gained at that point by trying the Yurchenko triple full other than being cool. So you have your silver medal. Why would you go for something that you're not familiar with, that's risky, when you can just get yourself, and that you still probably won't pass Simone, even if she hit the triple full with the same execution as her double full, she wouldn't have passed Simone. So, the logical sentiment is that it was no point to do it. But,
she'll always be the greatest to me. It doesn't matter. She didn't do the Yurchenko triple, but I hope someday we see it.
Yeah, we will see it someday. But, someone will have to submit it at every Olympics, and we'll not see it until we see it. So bronze medal, Jade Carey. Also, I think the best pair of vaults we've seen from her at these Olympics. Did her chung, normal. Her Yurchenko double full was the best it's been in quite a while. I thought that was, a really good one, under control, very solid. She did post the number for the Amanar.
Yes.
That was the vault number. And I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's literally no reason. Just, they're not going to change, but you could only lose, you can't gain by doing the Amanar. So similar to, I think, Andrade with the triple full. It was like, there's no point to this. Hit a clean Yurchenko double full for the bronze medal, and that's what she did.
I was so excited that she was going to go for it, even though it was like, what's going to happen. But then she didn't do it, and I was all worried. And I was like, what are the rules again? And is that a deduction? But there's no neutral deduction. So anyway, that's the best rule that there is if you put up the wrong vault, it doesn't matter. And you can, this goes back to the, so basically you don't get a deduction if you put up one vault and do a different one, because obviously safety, that's great. A different vault. And this goes back to, remember in Simone's interview with the Call Her Daddy podcast, and she said, in Tokyo, I was up on vault and then I couldn't change the number, so I had to do the vault. And all of us were like, no, that's not true. You don't have to do the vault. Even if you post the wrong number, you can do whatever vault you feel safe for. So we were like, oh God, I hope she knows that now. But Jade clearly knows it. Yeah. So that was good.
And it's a different thing than most meets where you're just like doing the number manually for the vault number on the thing. You've submitted it beforehand to the system. So, I think you would obviously submit the Amanar if you need it, because she's like, I could do it if I need it, but she didn't need it. So,
yeah. I just want to talk about the grown-ass womanness of this podium. This podium
you've shown the interest in talking about the grown-ass womanness of things.
Can you tell how much our generation was affected negatively by the NBC narrative we got of gymnastics, that everyone had to be a little girl dancing in a box of flowers, whatever it was, spinning in a
little girl stamping for gold, as we watched a bunch of 19-year-olds do gymnastics. Yeah, because you call 19-year-olds little girls.
And I'm so glad NBC is changing the way that they taught. They are moving with the times, but I just feel I want to point it out again. It's a 24-year-old, 27-year-old, and 25-year-old were the podium for vault. One of the hardest podiums to get on, because the difficulty level is so high on this event. So if anybody, you guys, this is your assignment. If anyone in your life is like, oh, aren't they really old? Don't you have to be a teenager? You grab them by the throat. Just kidding. Be very polite and be like, actually, for your information, this is a 24 to 27-year-old podium. And women, grown-ups, are. Is there anybody else that you want to talk about specifically in this?
Yeah. We can go into more. There are more vaults I want to talk about, but we can go into more detail later if you want to do headlines first.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do event headlines for all of them, and then we can talk, because there are more vaults I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But men's, we should talk about some men, because Carlos Yulo won the vault, or the floor title. Not the vault, but he could.
He could win everything.
Justice done, I think. Form, execution wins. I think that was solid. He didn't have the highest execution score. Dolgopiat actually had a higher execution score, which kind of surprised me, but I get it. But execution, loveliness. His back 3.5 that he stuck was the moment of the final. That was fantastic.
Yep. everything he does, it's not just that he has, like, Dolgopiat does gymnastics, very clean gymnastics with his legs together and toes pointed. But Carlos Yulo does it with style in everything he does. Like his full twisting double layout, he arches out of the second one. He does a double front.
In both senses of the word. He flares and has flair.
Literal and stylistic flair. He kicks out of his front. Like he just does everything you want to be in men's gymnastics that isn't there. So I was like, after he went, I was like, that's it. He won. I don't care what anyone else does. That's the way floor is supposed to be done. And he has a huge D. Boom. End of story. He's the winner. Goodbye. And
so
justice was done.
This comment is mentioned Carlos winning, and Jessica keeps like Beaker the Muppet. Yeah, that's a solid.
That's basically what happens. Yes.
Yeah. Dolgopiat, huge improvement over his qualification routine, which barely got into the final. We were talking about like, oh, that was a nail biter. Very solid, very clean routine. Kind of thought he had won after he went in the second position with a 14.966. And then Carlos Yulo was like, I will barely get ahead with a 15. Jake Jarman, bronze medal. Again, great difficulty, not quite the same execution as the gold and silver medalists, so I think that was appropriate. He was a little hoppy kind of on every landing, but his difficulty was enough, and no major errors, just like little bounce, little bounce, little bounce, little bounce. So that was enough to get him a bronze medal and help reinforce the British team selection decision that we talked about. Was very much like the US team was like, this is for the team score. And the British team was like, how about maximizing our event medals? They got one so far today. So Jake Jarman.
Yep. And also the only thing I had trouble with, we'll go back to this more, but how the hell are Jake Jarman, who's amazing. You know, I'm a huge fan of it's Air Pirate Jake Jarman, that he was less than a tenth away from the E-score of Carlos Yulo. I was like, you guys, let's take a look at our E-score situation and let's make some alterations.
Other thing I will say, I thought the evaluation of double front pike positions throughout the men's final was very charitable.
Charitable is one word for it.
How you can tuck the second one and it's fine. I saw online there was like a lot of anxiety about Carlos Yulo maybe getting downgraded in his double front pike. And I was like, you can't downgrade his double front pike because if you didn't downgrade Zapata's and Dolgopiat's right before that.
Right. But he did a double front pike, but the second one was a cowboy squat landing in a squat position. And I was like, I think
there's your E-score. I think there's where E-score came closer to each other, mostly because of that. But still, correct.
I still think everything else Carlos Yulo does should give him more of everything. But I do want to talk about the pommel horse. We are bringing the term back. If you're not familiar, one time Kensley accidentally called someone a pommel whore, and we've never forgotten it. And we're put the t-shirt shirt back in the store because I think Nedoroshic, based on today in the press conference when someone asked him what kind of interesting interactions has he had online with people since he's become basically a nerd sex symbol, and he was like, they're inappropriate. I cannot mention them in the press conference. I think the pommel whore term is back. Nerd power podium is basically what happened. So we have Ireland's Rhys McClenaghan, the prodigy, fulfilled his destiny and is the multi-time world champion and now Olympic champion for Ireland. Huge, huge, huge deal for Ireland. Huge deal for him. He said he told me in the mix zone that he had a dream that he got this score. He dreamt he was here and he got the score, but he didn't dream that he won because he has had dreams that he wins the Olympics. But since he's been here, dreamt he got a 15.5, but not about winning. And he was like, and I think that's good. And he made that point of like, I just love gymnastics. I want to grow gymnastics. I knew after I hit, because everyone's like, did you know you won after you hit a routine? He's like, no, I just knew I did my job and I did everything I possibly could have done. And I had to make a decision. Am I going to upgrade or be safe? And I upgraded and it worked. And yeah, it's so exciting. It's just great. And I love this pommel horse podium because they all have so much respect for each other. Kurbanov from Kazakhstan. It's also the first Kazakhstan medal in. There's some record for Kazakhstan.
I have not checked, so I cannot confirm nor deny.
Which I just feel like Kazakhstan. They had to have a bunch of medals because it's Kazakhstan.
They're brand new.
They're sort of brand new, yeah.
Not brand new. I'm like, to us,
what about all your Soviet medals?
The history of gymnastics, but they're brand new. But Kurbanov, who went first and did a beautiful routine, and we've talked about him for many years. Hips, toe point. It's a beautiful routine. It should be a high execution score. Upgraded his routine from qualification, got a huge score, and it was kind of like, ooh, it's going to be really tough for everyone else at that point. And really at that point, it was like Rhys was the only one, I think, who had the execution to pass Kurbanov. Because Kurbanov has beautiful execution. I think Rhys's is even better, and he has the difficulty. And that was what was going to do it. Steven Nariman, very strong routine. Also had an 8-9 execution score, like Rhys, which is he maximized his ability in this routine, maximizing everything that he could do and execute well and execute cleanly and comfortably. And he hit all his Pommel Horse routines at a single competition, and it happened to be at the Olympics. So I feel like he's also successfully retired the talking point.
Yep.
But he's not going to hit all the way through.
Yep.
Until he goes to another competition and then is like, no, I missed 2 out of 3. It's Pommel Horse. The
specialist won the most medals. I'm just saying. That's why specialists, they're the best and everyone should care the most about them. Rhys was joking, to go back to your discussion of E-score, he was joking about, he's like, we didn't even break 9. This isn't even our best execution that we've gotten. And the other thing that I love about Rhys is he was so excited for what's happening to Nariman and that everyone's discovering. He was like, it's so great to see the world discover Steven Nariman and how great he is. And I'm loving all the memes and everything that I'm seeing. So I also thought Brody Malone was going to break Steven Nariman in half. He was so red from squeezing Nariman so many times. And I was like, I mean, I know they're very tough and strong. They're, elite gymnasts and Olympic medalists and whatnot. But I was like, Brody, please. Be careful.
He used full rodeo powers in the celebration. That was my general impression of watching him in the background as Nariman finished his Pommel Horse. It was like all of my rodeo training has gone into this moment, and I'm going to reclaim how the Yin Alvarez celebration, but make it like fun and good now.
And not weird and gross. Yes.
No, yeah.
I also loved how Nariman was wearing the flag as a cape, totally leaning into his Clark Kent persona, which if you guys haven't seen the picture of him dressed up as Clark Kent for Halloween, I highly recommend checking it out. Male gymnasts at Halloween, it's some of their strongest points in time. Yes.
Britt says 3 of my friends with young boys are now signing them up for gymnastics. The Olympics worked. The
whole point worked. I mean, this is like Nariman has openly said straight up, quote, men's gymnastics is a dying sport and has been for a long time. I hope this saves it. And I'm glad he's saying that out loud. It's not a secret. It's just obvious from the statistics. And lots of the guys said that, I didn't believe it maybe, but from them, but now hearing it from they said that, people are saying, I enjoyed that meet even more than the women's meet. And I was like, okay, you guys calm down. But NBC, they're good at making stars and villains, and now they rarely make a villain anymore because those days are over. And so they had made a star out of Nariman. This is the way they framed him is the way he should be. I feel like
his use of glasses made himself a star.
Well, there's that too.
That's irresistible.
And he's also him his whole life. Today he did a bunch of nerd box that moves. Rubik's Cube. He did a bunch of Rubik's Cubes today to get ready. He ate the same thing he does, which is 7 pieces of apple. Who counts the pieces of apple? I guess electrical engineers who went to Penn State.
I do.
Nerds. And a chocolate muffin.
How would you not count what you're eating? I don't even understand that as a concept, that you wouldn't count.
Oh my God, I'm so glad.
I don't understand how you would not.
We had another question.
It was a comment that Ned Rosic's home gym has fielded calls to sign up young boys all day.
I love this. I hope they still feel that way after they meet Pommel Horse.
After they try Pommel Horse, they're like, actually, that was fun, and now never mind. But I would like Steven Nedorosik to be in charge of a little kid army of Pommel Horsies.
Oh my god!
Just like him leading around these like a bunch of 7-year-olds who are really into Pommel Horse. That would be excellent.
Oh, inspire a generation. This is what it's about. It's happening.
So then in Pommel Horse, we have Max Whitlock in 4th. It's Max Whitlock, a legend. I think it was the right placement for him. He has a little bit, he always is going to be a little bit lower on execution because the Pommel Horse people will tell you there's a hip angle that the others don't have. He had a large leg separation in there, and it kind of just added up to enough when faced with the 3 medalists who went so cleanly with their difficulty. I think it was appropriate to have Whitlock in 4th.
Yeah. It was pretty exciting. You guys. I want to oh my gosh, I have many stories to tell you guys, but I just want to go back to vault for a second and talk about just frame for a moment how exciting this was to see Simone Biles, Olympic champion, 2-time all-around Olympic champion, come here, do a Yurchenko double pike and win. Like, and
then be like, that vault is done.
It's been retired. Like, you hang
putting
up
that
a number
in the box.
Yes.
Locking it it up.
It's gonna be in
Not
there.
throwing away the key necessarily, but it's going in the box.
But it's so rare that you see someone do something so incredibly difficult and they are fine every time. There's only one time we've seen Simone do that and it'd be scary. That time before Tokyo,
which was training. It was a warm-up.
Training
when she landed short. Her back was kind of jarred.
Yeah. But that's how freaking good she is. It's amazing. And I love the Leo she wore. It looks so good on her. This red Leo that was like swirly and sparkly. I just want to like let us bathe in that we are alive in the time of Simone Biles, and let's not forget that or take it for granted. And like Jade Carey said to her dad when she tripped down the vault runway in Tokyo, and we thought she was gonna win, she didn't. That she was like, "We're coming back here," and they did, and they won a medal. It was great. Okay, some things to tell you guys about. Okay, if you guys have you read yet? Okay, there's 2 articles I want to tell you about.
I feel like you have a lot of things you want to say and you're not really sure which one you want to talk about.
I know. I keep saying I wanna, and then I don't know where to start. Okay, so here's where I'm going to start. If you want to know how Simone Biles came to be and didn't quit as a junior or didn't get like so hated gymnastics so much she never wanted to do it again, like so many other super talented gymnasts that have been in the US, there's a book coming out that you can order now on Barnes & Noble or on Amazon. It is called The Balance by Simone's first coach through Rio for 19 of her world and Olympic medals, by Amy Borman. And it explains all the stuff. It is her coaching philosophy, their entire journey with Simone through everything that happened in Rio from the time she came into her first class, the world championship, gold medals, all the behind the scenes info, the lawsuits, the crimes, the judging, the parents, all of it, everything's in there that you guys want to know. So it's called The Balance. You can pre-order it now, Amazon or on Barnes & Noble. And also Fact Checker co-wrote it, by the way, that guy. There's 2 new articles out you should check out from Emily Giambavo at the Washington Post. They're data. Like, if you love data, if you are also a Pommel Horse for data, Emily Giambavo has like Simone Biles versus all of her competitors. It's like 1,000 data points with a scatter plot. I forget what those are called. There's 2 articles she has like that. You guys, it's everything we've been waiting for. So check that out, Washington Post. And then also, this is my favorite article. I may have played a little part in helping the author of this article get where they needed, but it is about chalk and the different countries and how they use chalk and what chalk is the best and who likes what. And there's also a whole part about a Mexican gymnast constantly getting stopped at the airport because they kept thinking she was a cocaine mule because of the chalk in her luggage. It's everything I could ask for in a gymnastics article, all put together. So that's from the USA Today, and that's coming out soon. Just look at chalk. Oh no, it's out now. Maybe Fact Checker can put it in the. I'll put it in the show notes, and Fact Checker can put it up. Also, this is a reminder that this whole thing, all the glory of this show is brought to you by Club Gym Nerd, who get bonus episodes, discounts, live Q&A episode every Friday. We just had a meetup tonight in Paris. We had a live show last night, and you can still get tickets for that and watch the replay for 2 weeks at GymCastic.com. And then, Club Gym Nerd's great. You get lots of stuff. And if you need any help, you can email customer service at GymCastic.com. And we also have lots of new stuff coming up. Like we have a bunch of really exciting interviews, like one with Nellie Kim is planned and is coming up. So Club Gym Nerd members always get the extended version. So if you want the extended version of the Nellie Kim interview that's coming up, it's on the calendar, then stick with Club Gym Nerd. We have college season where you can see Jade Carey competing. All these Olympians are in college. It's a very fun time, and we do this every week all year long. And this is where we end the headlines here for everyone, and then I tell all the behind the scenes stories about all the things that happened at the Olympics that you don't see on the broadcast. And so thank you so much for joining us today. If you're not a Club Gym Nerd member, we'll see you tomorrow after whatever finals are tomorrow. What finals are tomorrow? Bars and beams?
No, beams day 3. Women's is bars. The only women's final tomorrow is bars. And then the men's are doing rings and vault.
Oh my God, it's Suni, Namor, Becky Downey, Chuchuan.
All doing rings. Yeah.
All doing rings tomorrow. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you here tomorrow. All right. So, Spencer, listen to this shit. So, okay. So the freaking village